everybody. We're here at the Palm Beach chapter of the First Tee. This is our first Elite Player Academy. And we've got 4 players here with us. We're at the Dive Preserve in Jupiter, Florida. A really nice place. They're taking real good care of us. We have a Eagle activity here, and it's on the pitching and chipping area. Okay? And what this is this is set up for 9 holes of match play. First of all, here we have Emily Valentine from Jupiter High School. Say hello, Emily. And this is Cyan Hochter. She's from Jupiter High School as well. The first hole of this competition is a 22-foot, it can be just a little bit longer than 20 feet, putt. And this is match play. This is going to be the first hole of match play. The kids are able to understand match play rules, match play strategy, and also match play scoring. Okay, now the second hole of this match will be a putt from off the putting green. Now here we have Sheldon Meyer from Dwyer High School, and also we have Janelle Johnson from Wellington High School. They would be playing the second hole here. We have tees down as tee markers, so all the rules that apply for a ball being struck in between tee markers applies. And the second hole of this competition is a putt of about the same length, maybe 25 to 28 feet. And the flag sticks are left in for the shots played from off the green. This is the second hole, so we ask the players at the end of each hole, what's the score of the match? The third hole, and the intention of the rest of this activity, is to use a different club for different situations. And in many cases, the pupil here is using a club for the first time. Cyan here is going to be using a 6-iron. It's for a 30 or 40-foot shot to a far pin. And they're using a 6-iron here. Now, a lot of kids and a lot of adults would never use a 6-iron for here, but we want to have the kids experience something different by using a club that maybe a better player would use in this situation. It's a shot that only carries a little bit in the air, but has a considerable roll. And we want the children, the students in this case, to be understanding how it's easier to judge roll than it is to judge loft and backspin. That's the third hole of the match. The fourth hole, we have Sheldon and Emily over here. This is played with a 7-iron. It has a little bit more loft of the iron so that the ball can carry a little farther, but still have a predominance of roll. And they're playing again to a separate pin, and maybe it's 35 or 40 feet. We have 3 pins here, and when we have this set up on our facility at Dyer Park, we'll have different color flags, and we'll have a little sign down by the tee markers that say this is the 4th hole. It's to be played with a 7-iron. The 7-iron is the chip shot, and then the player takes the putter up onto the green. This is what we call it the first tee, purposeful practice. It's practicing like we play on the course. The player plays 1 ball, the play is chipped or pitched, and then the player putts out. This is match play. This is the 4th hole. 5th hole we have over here, Emily. This is with an 8-iron. A little bit farther. Go ahead around. The 8-iron has a little bit more loft. So there's a longer shot played in the air with a little bit less roll or a little bit more backspin. It can be played to any length swing, but with the 8-iron we want to have a little bit more roll and, a little bit more in the air and a little bit less on the ground. Next hole we have a 9-iron. See that we've changed from the putter on the first 2 shots, then we started with a 6-iron, then a 7-iron, and now an 8-iron. Now we have a 9-iron here, Most players carry the ball and roll the ball about the same amount with a 9-iron. Some with a pitching wedge, some with an 8-iron, but predominantly, Sheldon, go ahead and hit that shot. So we have 2 tees in the ground. The ball's played from within the tee markers, and he's playing a shot with a 9-iron that went about the same distance in the air as it did on the ground. Okay? That was the 6th hole. The 7th hole we now play with a pitching wedge. And we've got a considerably longer shot in the air with not as much roll. And in this case, it's played over to the far pin. Go ahead, Cyan, and hit the shot here. This is with a pitching wedge. Now, this is going to go a little bit farther in the air than it does on the ground, and maybe there's a little backspin on it, too. That's a well-played shot. A little bit long. Shot was played very well, just the judgment wasn't there at how long the shot was. The shot itself was a great one. Okay, so our 8th hole is now over here, and it's played from the rough, and it's played with a sand wedge. We dictate the club to be used in each one of these situations. The player is allowed to put the ball in the lie that they like. This is the 8th hole. Now, most of the matches are going to start getting towards completion, and we play them just like a Ryder Cup match. There's a point for a win, and there's a minus point for a loss, If the match is tied, there's a plus half of a point for each one. You notice how Janelle gave herself a real good lie, and in this case she's pitching over a bunker to a far pin. This is the 8th hole of the match. The 9th hole of the match is played with a sand wedge again. If the player wants to use a lob wedge, they can. This is played from a bunker, in this case to a very tight pin, and the rakes down here are used as tee markers. This is the 9th hole of the match. The only way that we're going to reach this way is if it's even or the players are one up and one down. Players learned a new term today, and what is it called, or what is the description, Emily, what does the term dormy mean?
If you're one up with as many holes to play.
Up with as many holes to play. It's a definition that's found in the rule book. Dormy is when a player is up with as many holes to play. Emily, go ahead and play your shot there. Excellent. Beautiful shot. Really a difficult one. This is played from very wet sand. They've had a lot of rain out here. There's a lot of shade on this bunker. You can see how Emily played a great shot. Okay, everybody all together. All right, so all you kids that are watching this, when you get a little bit older and you're going to be the kids that are going to be the leaders on the golf teams, like at Jupiter and Dwyer and Wellington, this is what we want to be striving towards. This is one of the activities from the first Palm Beach chapter of the First Tee Elite Training Academy. Congratulations, you guys.